So he drains the entire account while she's in surgery. Every dollar, perfectly timed, and it's all authorized. How does that even happen? And why does it feel planned, not impulsive?
Your balance is 0. I blinked at the screen, then at the bank manager across from me. That's not possible. I'm Tyla. I'm still wearing a hospital band, sitting in a cold office less than 2 hours after surgery, barely steady on my feet. He turns the monitor toward me, every transaction lined up in brutal detail. Transfers, withdrawals, one after another. All made while I was unconscious. My husband had full access, the manager says flatly. These were authorized. Authorized. Marcus didn't just take some money, he emptied everything. Savings, bills, recovery funds. Gone in the exact window, I couldn't stop him. I reached for my phone, hands shaking, calling him voicemail. Again, voicemail. Then the manager frowns, squinting at something on his screen. Wait, that's strange, he mutters. I look up. What is it? He hesitates. There's one transaction here that doesn't behave like the others. Before we continue, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell for updates. The manager zooms in, dragging the cursor over a single line buried between the withdrawals. It's not a withdrawal, he says slowly. It's a trigger event. A what? My voice comes out thinner than I expect. He clicks again, frowning harder. I don't see these often. It looks like when the balance dropped rapidly, something locked part of the system. Like a fail-safe. A fail-safe. That word doesn't belong here. Not in our account. Not in anything Marcus ever touched. He hated complications. He liked things simple, direct, controlled. Can you reverse it? I ask quickly. If something locked it, can you unlock it? He shakes his head. No, this isn't on our side. This came from somewhere else. External protocol. He leans back slightly, studying me now instead of the screen. Did you set up any secondary financial protections? Backup accounts? Legal holds? My stomach tightens. No, I say automatically. But even as I say it, something flickers at the edge of my memory. Not clear, not solid, just a feeling. Like I'm forgetting something important. The manager prints out a statement and slides it toward me. I'm sorry, Miss Tyla. As far as this account is concerned, there's nothing left accessible. Accessible. I stare at that word longer than anything else he's said. Because it doesn't mean gone. It means out of reach. I push myself up from the chair, legs unsteady. The room tilts for a second before settling. He offers to call someone, but I shake my head. I just need air. Outside, the sunlight feels too bright, too normal for what just happened. People walk past like nothing's wrong. Like my entire life wasn't just emptied in under an hour. I try Marcus again. Straight to voicemail. I open his contact, hesitate, then check his profile. Gone. No photo, no status, no trace. A cold realization settles in. This wasn't panic. It wasn't impulse. He planned this. Every step, every transfer, even disappearing. My chest tightens. Not from panic, but from something sharper. Calculation. I start walking without direction, gripping my phone like it's the only solid thing left. Notifications blur together, hospital discharge instructions, missed calls from unknown numbers, automated alerts I can't process. Then I see it. One email, timestamped exactly 6 hours ago. While I was still under, the subject line freezes me mid-step. Do not open this until... My thumb hovers over the screen, heart starting to pound again, but this time, it's different. Because Marcus took everything he could see. But this doesn't look like something he knew about. And suddenly, the question isn't just why he drained our account. It's what he missed. I inhale slowly and tap the email. The email doesn't open, it challenges me. A password prompt fills the screen, sterile and unyielding. Below it, a single line of text. If you're reading this, something has already gone wrong. My pulse spikes. I know this. I recognize this tone, careful, measured, almost clinical, but I don't remember writing it or setting this up. I glance around the sidewalk like someone might be watching, then step aside near the hospital entrance, leaning against the wall to steady myself. My body still aches, but my mind is suddenly wide awake. Why would I create something like this and forget, unless I didn't forget, unless I buried it? I try a few passwords, birthdays, anniversaries, combinations Marcus would never guess. Nothing. Then, at the bottom of the screen, a hint fades in. Think about the day you stopped trusting him. My breath catches. That wasn't one moment, it was a shift. Subtle at first. Marcus asking more questions about money, wanting access, just in case. Brushing off small inconsistencies, like they didn't matter. But there was a day. Clear, sharp. The first time I caught him lying about a transfer he couldn't explain. He smiled it off. I didn't. My fingers hover, then start typing that date. Because if this exists, then part of me saw this coming long before today. And that part of me left something behind. The screen flickers. Access granted. The screen opens and it's not what I expected. No long message, no explanation. Just a video file. My name is stamped across it. TYLA private log 03. My chest tightens as I press play. It's me. Same face, same voice, but calmer, focused in a way I don't feel right now. I don't know if this is going to matter, the video version of me says, sitting at our kitchen table. But Marcus has been moving money without telling me. Small amounts. Enough that most people wouldn't notice. I feel my stomach drop. Because I did notice, I just let it go. On screen, I continue. So I started tracking it. Dates, times, patterns, and I set up something separate, something he doesn't know about. My grip tightens around the phone. Separate. Hidden. I linked a conditional trigger to our main account, the video says. If the balance ever drops too fast, like a drain, it activates. My heart starts pounding harder. What does it activate? I whisper, even though I already know I won't hear myself answered. The video version of me pauses, then leans closer. It locks everything tied to that pattern, not just ours. Not just ours? The video ends abruptly.
If that trigger locked more than just the account, then why would Tyler prepare for something that specific, unless this wasn't just about Marcos?
Below it, a folder appears, documents, logs, timestamps, and one file that stands out immediately. Conditional filing pending execution. My thumb moves toward it, and my phone rings. Unknown number. I hesitate, then answer. Miss Tyla? A calm voice says. Yes? Pause. Then, we've been waiting for this trigger to activate. I step away from the hospital entrance, pressing the phone tighter to my ear. Waiting? I repeat. Who is this? Daniel Reeves, the voice replies evenly. Financial investigator. The protocol attached to your account triggered a multi-account flag about 40 minutes ago. My stomach tightens. Multi-account? Yes. The pattern your system was tracking, it matched activity across several linked profiles. Same behavior, same withdrawal structure. I stop walking. You're saying this isn't just my account? A brief pause. No, Miss Tyla, it isn't. Everything inside me goes still. Marcus wasn't just stealing from me. He'd done this before. Your documentation helped, Daniel continues. The logs, timestamps, and IP traces bundled automatically when the trigger activated. It created a real-time evidence package. I think about the video, about the version of me who saw enough to prepare for this. What happens now? I ask quietly. We've already forwarded the data to financial crimes. There's also a conditional legal filing attached pre-prepared under your authorization. My chest tightens. So he can't just disappear? Another pause. We believe he's attempting to leave the country. My heart slams. But, Daniel adds, voice sharpening slightly, a hold request is being processed right now. I close my eyes. Marcus thought he timed everything perfectly. But something interrupted his plan. Something he didn't see. I swallow. If they stop him, what are they going to find? Silence. Then, more than he ever intended to leave behind, they stop him. Not with sirens or chaos, just a quiet interruption at passport control. A scan, a pause, a second look at the screen, and then he's escorted away before he even understands why. I get the call an hour later. Miss Tyla, Daniel says, voice steady. He didn't make it past security. I sit down on the edge of my bed, still in my hospital clothes, the weight of everything finally catching up to me. What happens now? They've detained him under financial fraud suspicion. The evidence package your system generated, it's already been distributed to multiple agencies. Multiple. That word lands heavier than anything else, because it confirms what I already felt building. This wasn't just about me. Over the next few days, everything unfolds in pieces, but each one hits harder than the last. There weren't just irregularities. There were patterns. Marcus had opened joint accounts with other women, different cities, different timelines, same structure, gain trust, merge finances, wait for the right moment, then drain everything, disappear. Except this time, he moved too fast. The trigger I set, the one I barely remembered, did more than flag my account. It cross-referenced behavior, locked partial transfers, preserved data he couldn't erase. It stopped him mid-exit. And exposed everything. Some of the money is recovered, not all, but enough to matter. Enough to prove intent. Enough to connect the cases. Other women come forward. Names I've never heard. Stories that sound too familiar. Same charm, same control, same ending. Legally, it builds fast. Charges, stack fraud, financial exploitation, identity manipulation. His accounts are frozen. His aliases surface. The version of him I knew starts to look like just one layer of something much larger. Socially, it spreads quieter, but just as decisively. Mutual contacts cut ties. His name becomes a warning, passed carefully between people who don't want to say too much out loud. And me? I go back to the bank. Same office, same desk. But this time, the manager doesn't avoid my eyes. There's been a partial recovery, he says, sliding a new statement toward me. The number isn't what it used to be, but it's not zero, not even close. I look at it for a long moment, then nod, because the one thing Marcus counted on was that I wouldn't see him clearly until it was too late. But I did. Maybe not all at once. Maybe not loudly. But enough to leave something behind. Something he didn't know existed. I step outside again. The air sharper this time. Clearer. My phone buzzes once more. I open my contacts, scroll down, and stop on his name. No hesitation now. Delete. No anger. No message. Just the quiet end of something that already broke. Then I open my banking app again. The balance sits there steady, untouched, and this time, every single dollar in it is mine.
If something like this can sit quietly inside a shared account without being noticed, how many people think they are secure right now when someone else already planned their exit?